Okay, so before going to I have also supposed to discuss on one example of a warning letter, how to draft that. So before that, just start the discussion by sharing who you have set up the meeting and discuss the issue with the employee, citing specific area which were of a concern. It is better to be prepared with in-depth details of the issue, since the employee will often try to justify their behavior. This is normally happen in the your normal court or during the investigation. So same thing, it is a small version where the employer, they are investigating a detail. Okay, so they are trying to find out like why this specific employee behave in that way. So that's why it's a duty of the concerned person to collect the information, collect the fact, collect the what we can say, the evidence. Okay, so which prove that that employee has did something wrong, which is against the company law, rules and regulation, or a protocol of the company. So this is very, very important, that because, but obvious, we can't punish the innocent. Okay, but many time what happen, in many organization, few people, they are doing purposefully because they want to take a revenge, or maybe just for a jealous, there are a different behavior. So just because of a jealousy, and then just to show that candidate is below the average. So there are just, these are again misconduct by that candidate who knowingly doing something against the innocent employee. Okay, and then without knowing a detail, the employer, they are giving a warning to the innocent employee. Okay, so this is a one step. Whereas the person who is taking the action against the employee, they must, that is a duty of that employee or the authentic or maybe authority to collect the proper evidence. Okay, so without that, he can't write a warning letter. So discuss the specific outcome that are expected from the employee in a specific timeline. Now it is very, very important to discuss what is a matter, like why you behave like this, or maybe you need to, in certain cases, the employee or the concerned authority, he is getting the details of that. Maybe suppose the person, XYZ person, he shifted from A company to B company, and maybe during when he is collecting a data on a specific employee, he can also ask the other company to share a details. Why? Because maybe just to find out whether that person is really innocent or not. Maybe he has already spent it near about more than 10 years tenure in company A, and now from company A he shifted to B. Okay, and here he got a promotion. So maybe this is a certain, there are many cases because of just a jealousy, the other employee, they have maybe certain without doing anything, he has given wrong information to the higher authority, and he compelled the higher authority to give a warning to the innocent. Okay, now in that case, that is a duty of higher authority to get the detail, everything related to that candidate. Maybe that's why we are calling it a GR, or a personal file. Okay, so this is maintained by each and every organization when you join the any organization. So here every minute detail is recorded or maintained in the your personal file. So it is duty to find out the fast record of that candidate, and then only you take a proper decision. Document the employee's thoughts, if any, on the company copy of a warning letter. Now suppose you we already discussed on that, like whenever the higher authority, they are issuing a warning letter to the concerned employee. Okay, so they are giving one copy, and even they are also getting a sign on the that warning letter, as a he is received the warning letter. Okay, and he is maintaining a record of like, yes, the communication is completed, because the warning letter issued to the concerned person, it means that the message is gone to the right candidate, right employee. Share a signed copy of the warning letter with the employee and get the signature of the employee on the company copy. File the letter in the employee record. So these are a certain documentation, and that is a mandatory whenever you are issuing the warning letter, and then you are calling that person just for address this issue. in maybe at a maybe the panel of certain higher authority in front of them, or maybe one to one, because you suppose the concerned person was taking action against that employee, he itself is a higher authority, or maybe a owner of the company, maybe a CEO of the company, maybe a VP HR, and he is a signing authority, he's a decision maker. So that can be like according to the company's rules and regulation, they are doing this needful. Now, this is one discipline related to discipline issue, sample example of their warning letter. Now, the warning letter is to be issued to the employees in case they have violated the key sections in the company policy document. Now, normally, whenever you are writing or framing any letter, the date is very, very important. The date when the letter was generated. Okay. Name, the full name of the employee to whom we are giving or this warning letter, then address of the office location. Okay. Now, in warning of a disciplinary incident. So this is very, very important that you need to write in a subject what exactly the topic or a matter, warning for disciplinary incident. Now, dear, first name of the employee instead of, because this is a normal protocol, whenever we are addressing someone here in India, we are writing means mostly I think we are using all over the world the salutation given to the employee also, Mr. Dear or Mr. or Mrs. Okay. Then the first name of the employee. This letter is to serve an official warning to you for the incident that happened on specific date. The date is mentioned. Date here, date is like on which these incidents happened. Okay, so this is a date of an incident. We were informed about, describe in brief the incidents, not in total detail, because suppose if necessary, we can enclose certain document as a proof of, as evident. But here with the, because of, it's supposed to be very concise and simple, we just giving a detail like in a short 2-3 lines, like describe in brief the incidents. This kind of misconduct is not expected in the workplace and is against the company policy. And mention the name of the policy, page number, section number, para number, or a serial number in the company policy document. So it is a mandate or for any organization whenever they are registering their company under specific norms. So they are also framing parallelly their company policy. Maybe many organization, if it is a big organization, they have a manual and yearly manual, or where whenever they are changing or where necessary company policy, so they are publishing it, and maybe department wise they are giving the detail on like these are the published document on the company policy. So each and every policy related to what, maybe absenteeism, maybe your dress code, maybe a cleanliness, maybe a what we can say the attendance, and then the day-to-day routine, sanitation, hair, work, recruitment, different policies are mentioned at a one particular document, and it is published or it is distributed among the department. So mention the name of a policy, then on which page number that policy is, section number. In policy, we have a different laws. In that also, we have a section, subsection, like normally we have Shivani and Advait, I don't know whether you have gone through the our Indian constitution or labor law. Please go through that once. You will might aware. You're not aware about this key. There are a certain article here, then section here, then subsection here, and then usme bhi para number, because it is very, very important. There are a certain big laws related to your labor law also. And just for a simplification, the language is very difficult to buy and it is not easily understood by the common man. For that, we need a legal awareness or a legal to know a legal language. Para number or a serial number in the company policy document. So here you just give a brief on you have not opted according to, and this you have violated this particular law, this particular company policy. So give a detail of that. Our policy and the guidelines are designed with the goal to make the work environment and the company culture open and safe for all employees at all levels. We expect every employee to respect and follow these guidelines in order to encourage a collaborative and the performance-oriented work culture. So this is like a normally the higher authority, when he drafting a letter, he is given like a, what is a company? So he is trying to convince the that candidate who did a misconduct in the organization, like just give a reminder like what the culture of our organization. Okay, since you have been found to be violating the rules, we are hereby putting you on a warning period. Mention the duration of a warning period. During this period your behavior will be monitored, and they are giving the chance to the candidate, to the that person who did misconduct in the organization, so that he will use that time to improve his behavior according to the rules and the regulation or a company's policy. So it is again mentioned with the duration, like you are getting 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and we are monitoring your behavior. Okay, so there are a supervisor who are on a daily routine basis, they are monitoring, and they are trying to know that is there any changes, positive changes in your behavior or not. Any reoccurrence of the violation will ensure strict action against you that may be followed by, maybe suppose it is observed by the that particular person who is monitoring a behavior of the candidate or the employee, he is repeating what he did earlier on which he has already received a warning letter. So suppose he is repeating the same. Okay, so in that case, there are two decisions supposed to be taken by the higher authority. One is a suspension without a pay. Now here it's a monetary loss. So warning, you are on a notice period, so still you are getting a salary. But in case of suspension, there are a two way of suspension. Maybe suspended during your suspended period, you are getting 1/4 of salary or half salary or according to the company rules, because in that particular duration he is not liable to work for other company also because he is a suspended. Mostly you have heard that in police department, hey, because of the corruption, many government officer, many good higher position employee, they are getting a suspension order because they have committed maybe certain misbehave or uh, what we can say, corruption or a fraud. So due to such behavior, they are suspended for maybe 6 months, maybe for 2 3 years, 1 years. So and there is this again supporting to that, you can't work any you can't join any other organization, you can't work. So just for his day-to-day routine he needs some money. So the government, they have issued already, if the suspended period is longer, then definitely the company, they have a provision, or the government authority, government agency, government offices, there is a according to that they are giving a salary maybe by one half salary or my 1/4 salary, but something. But again, suspension without pay, that was the case where he's getting suspension with pay, but here suspension without pay, termination without a prior notice. So the first and the final decision taken by a higher authority to terminate a candidate without giving a prior notice. Suppose the company is giving you a prior notice and termination, and they're asking you ki, after 1 month you need to leave the organization. Okay, that is a normal procedure of the organization. But whereas if you misconduct, you behave in the organization in such a way, the organization without giving you notice or to chance to improve, the company, they are giving order to order of a termination. So this is a case. We continue to believe that you are a valuable part of our organization and expect you to show immediate improvements. Looking forward to seeing a positive outcomes of this discussion. So here, just two lines written here, but it is showing a faith at the last moment also on the employee of that company. Like, we continue to believe that you are a valuable part. They're giving a respect to the candidate, and they're giving, like, maybe it's happened without any intention, whatever the person has did wrong in a particular specific time. Okay, so looking forward to seeing a positive outcomes. They are also giving you assurance that we know that over a time you definitely improve your behavior. Okay, if you need my assistants or have queries, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. You are requested to sign a copy of this letter to indicate your acknowledgement and for the discussion further. So this is very, very important that the company at the till last moment, he's keeping a faith on that employee behavior. He joined in the organization, and maybe after 1 year, 2 year, he's committing something against the company's policy. But this company, they're showing a faith, and then in the last line is a very important line, ki if you need my assistance or have queries, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. So they are giving a assurance, higher authority from the on the behalf of the company's managing board hai ya CEO hai. They are giving a one assurance that if definitely in this critical phase, that is a critical phase, the company, they are giving the warning letter to the any employee. If you want any type of help, I'm here to help you, to assist you. Okay, so this is assurance he is giving on behalf of the company to the candidate who is frustrated, who is in tension, who is in a stress, and he is doing something misconduct in the organization. And that is lastly, normally, we are ending with the saying sincerely. Are you getting the simple draft on a warning letter, one page draft? Shivani, are you able to understand? Advait and Shivani? Now we are switching to the show cause notice.
Yes.
Okay. So we are moving towards a show cause notice. Before starting with the show cause notice, any one of you, any idea about what is meant by show cause notice? Have, whether this words is new to you, have you heard this word? Yes,
Ma'am, I have heard about this.
you heard. What is about Advait? Show cause notice.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard about this show cause notice?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, a show cause letter is provided by an employer to an employee. Who is providing to whom? Employer is providing to whom? To employee. In the course of disciplinary process, it asks the employee to provide an explanation or show cause why they should not face a disciplinary action issues, whether about the conduct or capacity in the workplace. Okay. After considering the reply of a show cause by employer or his, in a simple word, in my opinion, show cause notice is like, suppose the warning letter is issued to the candidate, and then the show cause notice is again issued to the candidate to ask him the explanation on why you behave in wrong way, which is against the company rules and regulations. So you are asking on a paper his opinion or his views, in order to he protect himself by giving the explanation like, I did this is not intentionally, by mistake it's happened. Okay, so that is, it is, they are giving a reply to the show cause. Now, is there any difference between show cause notice and the warning letter? Is there any difference? Is there any difference between?
Yes, ma'am, there is.
What is the difference?
Ma'am,
In show
warning
cause, we
letter
are
is,
asking the explanation, whereas the warning, we are giving them a warning about, we are giving them detail about ki you did something wrong, what wrong you did, and which particular policy you have violated in the company, and we are giving a specific time to improve your behavior. Whereas the show cause, we are asking the explanation by the candidate, okay, like why you behave in such a way. Show cause. Okay, so that's why he needs to show, he needs to give a detail like, and then company is giving them one more chance to draft a documentation where he's giving a, like, I'm innocent, maybe somebody has just to take a revenge, or maybe just because of a jealousy, some other person did that, and they are, I'm innocent, like, according to the requirement, he's giving a answer to the show cause notice. A warning letter has very little practical significance and is hardly used. Okay, mostly many organizations, they are giving a oral warning. So that's why a warning letter is a little practical significance, and it is rarely used in the organization. Show cause notice may be issued before a minor or a major punishment. There is a statement of the misconduct for which the proceedings have been started. So, warning letter, very practical, very little practical significance. Whereas the show cause notice, it is issued before the punishment. Okay, this is a hairline means a major difference between the show cause letter and the warning letter. In order to show cause is a type of a court order that requires one or more of the parties to a case to justify, explain, or approve. In order to show cause is a type of a court order that requires one or more of the parties to case, justify, explain, or prove something to the court. Courts commonly use orders to show cause when the judge needs more information before deciding whether or not to issue an order requested by one of the parties. Um, in your senior people, they was very fortunate, because that was my normal in your regular classes, when we was having a physical classes. Many times, every batch, HR students, we used to take appointment from the labor court, and where we are a victim of how these hearing, and normally employer employee, they are putting the issue in front of a judge, and the labor, in the labor court, there is a third party intervention actually, and here the matter is resolved. The individual means, suppose the company, they are also hiring a lawyer, and the employee, he's also, suppose he's not in a condition to pay to employee, the company need to pay for the his support. Okay, and then we till date we are gone through the 2-3 times visited a labor court, and here we actually visualize like how we have actually gone through the detailed process. There was a one case related to Bajaj company, where very simple incidents related to cleanliness, and it become a major issue because that particular the person belong to the union, and that is against the influence of a political pressure, and he pressurized the supervisor, and that's why the issue we was when they put this issue in front of a court, and how it solved. So one hearing we was in a, what we can say, the we was actually visited that place, and how it is a hearing and the proceeding of the case, we was a victim of that. So but this time now, for your batch, it can't be like I can't take an appointment also, because most of the, when I call them, like how the proceedings in a labor court as daily basis, so they are saying we also using a video conferencing, and like these are on a call, and then only a representative they are coming. We can't call the all the company authority maybe by whenever that they are getting a date for a hearing, so they need to come, only the 1 or 2 person, or in many cases they are asking if you sit at your place and we will have a video through like a your virtual platform, there is a this proceedings is done in nowadays. So this is very important, and whenever to show, whenever the in order to show cause, so it's type of a court order, and they're giving like now the employee, uh, according to a certain company law or policy, they have given like a you do certain misconduct in the organization. Now you must be ready with your opinion and you views why you did something wrong with the proper answer. Okay, so, and they're giving a certain dates or maybe a certain time period, like before that you need to give an explanation on that. So the letter giving this order, it is called as a show cause in a simple way. How do we write a show cause notice, show cause letters, drafting and the content? Be written in a very clear and dispassionate manner. Be issued as soon as practicable. Identify the workplace issue giving a rise to the disciplinary action. Identify any relevant workplace history, including any prior written warning letters. So it's very, very important. Whenever we are drafting the show cause notice, we keep in mind certain very important points. It's supposed to be very concise. The whatever the words which we are using whenever we are drafting the show cause notice, we need to use a proper words, because we need to avoid unambiguous words or the words which are having a double meaning. Okay, address with a sufficient particular, whenever again very, very important to put a comma or full stop at the appropriate place, because of this certain time, this what we can say, the comma and full stop, if you are not putting on a right place, it's total meaning of that sentence become something else. So it is very, very important. So there's a spelling mistake here, yeah, comma, these are a certain manual error, and it can be it can happen in any case. But who are drafting the person who is drafting the letter, he must take these very, very important facts and he need to draft the letter. Address with a sufficient particularity the factual allegation or allegations being made against the employee requiring a response. Now, such particulars will likely require the time, date, place, circumstances for each allegations being made. In some instance, name of the witnesses or supporting information such as a document should be disclosed. So it is very, very important. Parallel to that, whenever the show cause is given, show cause notice is given to the candidate, with that, not the complete documentation is given, but the earlier documentation which is recorded. So maybe sometime the person is doing something misconduct in the premises and it is captured by CCTV. So we can we that is a already automatic record is maintained, and we can take that footage and we can have that copy of footage in an enclosure. So this can be done. Even these particular things can be maintained in a record or a file. Be accurate and not omit or misrepresent any relevant circumstances, and afford a fair time for the employee to make an effective response. It is very, very important that I already said that whenever you're drafting this letter, you need to give a sufficient time to the candidate, because law always say that we can't punish the innocent one. So it is very, very important whenever the company they are drafting a show cause notice. Okay, so this is related to show cause. We will see certain examples of a show cause notice, like how to draft. Uh, Maybe the significance, the level of that particular incidence. According to that, we need to use a word or a language of a show cause notice, and then be specific with the words which we are using in the show cause notice. We can't whenever the person is interpreting the whatever written in the show cause notice, it's supposed to be in a proper way. It means like the message the conveyed by the higher authority through this show cause notice, it's supposed to be in the same way he must be received. Okay, so these are a certain guideline we need to use. Being a HR, you people are supposed to aware about like how to draft that, and you people have a one scope whenever the company they are giving the ad in the newspaper related to these people. These are a certain technical administrative work, but the technical writing part है कि जिसमें notice है, circulars है, these are different warning letters है, show cause memos है, show cause notice है. So disciplinary promotion letter, transfer letter. So how to drop? Specific format is for a specific letter. You being HR people, you must learn how to draft these letters. Okay. So today I feel I should stop here only. Okay. With your subject, I already given you the link, specific subject link, because I was, when I formed the common group, I was not aware about that many people, means this is a criteria this year, like they can select the subject according to their choice. So I was supposed to start the grading for internal marks. That's why I have prepared the 3 groups for my 3 subjects. So whatever the group you belong to, subject belong to, you please sign or you just attach in that particular group. Okay, so I will supposed to forward all my the notes on that class, Google class. So you do please, Shivani and Advait. I think you join in the TM, Shivani, hai na? TM and subject.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I have joined.
So are you Advait, what about your other say space subject psychometric है क्या आपका?
Yes, ma'am.
है क्या?
Yes, ma'am.
From Monday onwards we are starting with the psychometric testing. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Then I stop here. Anything you want to ask me related to topic, Shivani, Advait?
Ma'am, in warning letter, if company didn't give the warning letter or termination prior, 1 month prior,
Hmm.
any recommendation, any idea to employee,
Hmm.
directly terminate him,
नहीं
then what could an employee do? Means there are any provision for employees for this?
company can't directly terminate. That's why these are a initial phase when the company they are giving a warning. First is like a oral warning. Prior to that, है ना, oral warning होती है, and it is recorded कि you people have, I mean, the higher authority he is already or he or she has already given a verbal warning. उसका भी रिकॉर्ड करते हैं, उसको भी मेंटेन करना पड़ता है, बिकॉज कि ऑन सो एंड सो डे द हायर ऑथोरिटी VPHR है या किसी ने आपको वार्निंग दिया था ओरली. ओके, दैट्स व्हाई मोस्टली द वार्निंग लेटर उसको लिखते ही नहीं है, बिकॉज वर्बल वार्निंग को ही वार्निंग समझा जाता है. सो मोस्टली द पीपल दे आर कंसिडरिंग टर्मिनेशन इज अ लास्ट फेज. वी आर गिविंग अ वेरी सफिशिएंट टाइम टू द कैंडिडेट टू इम्प्रूव हिज बिहेवियर. दिस इज द लास्ट फेज. वार्निंग कब दिया, ये टर्मिनेशन सस्पेंशन ये कब होता है? एट द लास्ट फेज. वी आर गिविंग अ टाइम टू इम्प्रूव हिज बिहेवियर. हिज अगेन इट इज मॉनिटर कि अकॉर्डिंग टू द, उसको डेडलाइन देते हैं ना कि आपको 2 महीना दिया है, 1 साल दिया है, एंड वी आर मॉनिटरिंग योर बिहेवियर. स्टिल इट इज रिपोर्टेड दैट मे बी बाय सुपरवाइजर, मे बी बाय कलीग की ही इज कंटिन्यूइंग विथ हिज बिहेवियर, एंड देन द कंपनी और हायर ऑथोरिटी दे आर हेल्पलेस. फाइनल स्टेज है वो. Prior to that,
Okay,
they
ma'am.
can't take actions. Suspension दे सकते, termination भी नहीं देते. But you have asked very right question. Many organization they are saying that why to waste a time to just because suspension है, उससे क्या होता है? Automatically atmosphere, work culture खराब हो रहा है ना, मैंने ऐसे बिहेवियर से. तो कंपनी दे आर सेइंग कि वी विल नॉट वेस्ट आवर टाइम, वी आर गिविंग अ शॉर्ट पीरियड, वी विल रिकॉर्ड, मॉनिटर हिज बिहेवियर 1 or 2 चांस, नॉट मोर देन दैट. स्टिल ही इज नॉट इम्प्रूविंग हिज बिहेवियर, वी आर टेकिंग अ स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन अगेंस्ट दैट सो दैट अदर पर्सन विल लर्न फ्रॉम द दिस एक्ट. बहुत सारे कंपनी का ऐसा मानना है, बट इंडियन कंपनी मोस्टली दे आर वेरी जेन्युइन एंड दे आर गिविंग अ टाइम टू इम्प्रूव द बिहेवियर. ऐसा भी है. So there are according to higher authority how whether they are autocratic in nature, like है ना, बहुत सारे डिपेंड ऑन द कंपनी पॉलिसी.
Yes, ma'am.
आप जैसे ऑनलाइन डेटा देखते हो ना, तो बहुत ज्यादा अलग अलग डेटा आपको मिलेगा देखने को कि हाउ दे आर टेकिंग एक्शंस अगेंस्ट सच बिहेवियर.
Yes, ma'am.
दैट्स व्हाई आपका जो गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर है, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में डायरेक्ट टर्मिनेट नहीं करते, दे आर गिविंग अ सस्पेंशन ऑर्डर.